Good morning, class. We are going to work on a very fun little project today that takes only a few things. So I have just some black paper. Now you can also do this on white paper. I wanted to make my little pumpkin scene for nighttime so I can do a moon. But you can use any kind of paper you want. This is just black construction paper. So when we lived in Egypt and in Korea, I could find it pretty much anywhere. And then just a pencil and some chalk pastels, not oil. If you have only oil, you can use those, but this one uses chalk so that we can smudge it around. And then just some tissues. And I'm gonna just use those so that you can smudge it and smear it with your fingers, and that works fine. But you can also use a tissue or Q-tips. So to get started, I went ahead and took my pencil and I just traced one of my drinking glasses to make a perfect circle. And then I put a dot on my paper where I wanted the middle of my pumpkin to be. And then I went around here, so that kind of went off the side. And then I went around here. So I'm gonna continue to draw a little bit on my pumpkin just to plan things out. So I want this to be kind of a chunky pumpkin so that we can add some cool shadows. And if you just keep your lines rounded at the end, then you'll get places to add shadows. So that's all we're doing right now, is just a little bit of sketching. And then I'm just gonna start with my orange. So I've just picked a middle orange color. You can see I have light and dark for shadows and accents. And we're just gonna get started coloring and drawing our pumpkin. So first things first is we're going to trace out the outline of our pumpkin. Boop. And like in all of my art, I always remind you guys that there's no problem with perfection. We don't care about perfection. We're not trying to be perfect. We're just drawing, coloring, and using our creativity. So one of the reasons I chose this as a fun thing to do is because you can do it lots of different ways. Our younger artists in class can work on this with their siblings. You can do this with your mom and dad, with your grandmother and grandfather. You can just make it as beautiful and detailed or as abstract as you like. So we're just gonna keep on filling in just the base orange color. And you can see here, not perfect, looks pretty good. And like all pastels, it's gonna leave a mess on your counter. So just keep an eye on that if you're doing this on your dining table right before dinner. Just be ready to clean it up just with a wet paper towel and it'll come right up. So I'm just filling in the rest of my pumpkin. You don't need to worry about not having any black showing, that's fine. And then I'm gonna take one of my tissues and I'm just going to kind of bunch it up and just do a little smear here. And you can see it fills in all the black. See, that's why you don't have to worry, because it just takes care of it for you. But it also takes away all of the exciting texture, which we're gonna add back in. So put that one aside. And this is really crumbly, chalky pastels that I have. So now we've done our middle orange. I'm gonna go back in and just redraw my lines, remembering that you want them a little bit rounded just to add texture. And then I'm gonna go in with my dark red. I'm not dark red, dark orange. And I'm gonna start with this side because this is away from the moonlight. So this is gonna be our darker side of our pumpkin. And I'm trying to do rounded strokes so that it looks really cool. And then we're also gonna do the bottom of our pumpkin in this darker color. So I'm just gonna go like this around the bottom, and I'm trying to keep my strokes kind of rounded because I'm not gonna wipe these away. And you don't want them in straight lines. You want them kind of jutting up a little bit so that it looks like real shadows. Okay? And then we're gonna go a little higher on this one. And then we'll come in with our yellow, and I'm gonna come in from the top, and I'm gonna go really heavy on this side because this is where our moonlight is shining. And then we're gonna go down here so that the edges of all of our ridges of the pumpkin, it'll make it look kind of round and bulgy. Okay? And I went down into the dark on this first side and kept it pretty nice over here. So then I'm just gonna come in and fill in a little bit more of this darker color. I'm gonna take this orange and come down a little bit and just kind of even out our pumpkin's tone with some orange. There you go, looks pretty good. And then if you have hairspray, you can spray a little hairspray on this and it'll kind of make it so it doesn't get so easily smudged. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start with our moon. So first thing we're gonna do with our moon is just take the white, and I'm gonna go around in the circle. Keep in mind, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm just going to fill it in. And I'm also going to do another line outside the moon, which is like the glow of the moon, okay? And then I'm gonna take this kind of a skin color and just go around the outsides of the moon glow over here and inside of our moon. And then I'm gonna take the yellow that we used in the pumpkin and just add some more glow and color here to our moon. And then I'm gonna take one of my tissues and smudge it a little bit here and there. Again, I don't want to smudge it all the way around. I don't want to make a big mess, but I do want to have kind of my moon looking lovely and soft in the sky. So now I'm going to take my white and I'm going to start adding some stars. And I'm just doing like little dots. And then you can do kind of bigger dots, smaller dots, but I'm just adding some stars in here. And you can dash them a little bit if you like. You can have a shooting star. Just a few little stars in here to break up our night sky. Okay, so now we're going to draw the stem of our pumpkin, and it's really coming along nicely. I like the way it looks. I'm gonna just do a really light smudge here. There we go, I like that. Okay, so now we're gonna do our stem, and you can just kind of free draw it. So I'm gonna draw the stem, and then I'm gonna draw some of the little green curlicues that come off of the stem, the little vines, just to fill in some of the negative space that we have here. Okay, and then we're gonna start coloring that in. And I'm gonna go kind of into my pumpkin because the stem is part of the pumpkin. And so I'm gonna kind of come down into my pumpkin and just color in the stem here. And I'm gonna thicken up the base of these vines. And this vine, because they kind of start out thick and then they thin out as they grow. So I can thicken these out a little bit. And then I'm gonna take another green, because it always just adds a little bit more accent. This can be kind of a silvery sheen in your vine. And then I'm going to add a little bit of this yellow where it's dried off at the end where they cut the vine. Oh, that looks so nice. And there's our little pumpkin. And it looks so cute. And you could even draw a little baby pumpkin down here if you want. Just free draw it. Just fill in this negative space. And we can just kind of copy the same effects that we had in our other pumpkin. Right? And do our smudging. Right? And then from our top, and then we'll do our, this one's gonna have a lot more dark in the bottom because it's way down in the shadow of this other pumpkin. So we'll just have a little bit of yellow in there. And I know all of you have done the pumpkin project that we have in our assignments. So if you want to use this to submit for your pumpkin project, you are so welcome to do that. So we don't have to do as much detail because this little guy's in the background, but we still want to have his little curly cues. And we still want to put in a little bit of the moonlight in the vines. Super cute. So there's our pumpkin patch at night. And it's an easy project. Only took us about 15 minutes. And it's just beautiful. It's perfect for Halloween or for Thanksgiving or just the fall. And if you guys go to pumpkin patches, you could even add yourselves into this picture. I hope you enjoyed your art lesson this week, and I can't wait to see what kind of creative, exciting things you guys come up with. Have a wonderful week, and stick around for live help if you'd like, if you have any questions or you want to show me your art. And you can always send me emails with your pictures, and I love to look at them. They really put a smile on my face. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.